Hey guys, James Wolf here, and today is another episode of 80 Days. I'm kind of hoping to get this series done quite soon. Um, I was testing something, and I also didn't want time running, so that's plan. Also, I will let you guys know that I do not have my earbuds in for my computer. I have my earbuds in for my phone because I really don't feel like of 80 days over and over and over and over again. And I don't think I can go back. Fuck. Let's just sleep. Cause, yeah, that's a thing we're doing. With what remained of the day, I engaged another guest in conversation to learn what I could. Hearing from him that some buyers will pay well for evening jackets from Batavia? Batavia? Most interesting snippet. You can manage another case, can't you, Vespuccia? I can. So basically, we're on day 27. By that point, we were here last time, I believe. And we're now in Rangoon. Arriving Tuesday. Fuck. Well, it's 2 days. Okay. If anyone's wondering what song I'm listening to, by the way, on my earbuds from my phone, I'm listening to Confessions by Florida Georgia Line, but I have it on shuffle, so yeah. Give me a second. Sorry, my phone is acting stupid, so yeah. We sorry. We returned to the ship, ready to depart. Truly, it's it seemed this ship was a great blessing for on our journey. A gift from both the Zulu Federation and the Artificer Queen, who together made an alarming combination, I thought. Yeah. Let's attend to Monsieur Fogg. And get a third of the way there. The crew lit the boiler and maneuvered our ascent admirably, but at no point did we see the Mem captain, and we were not greeted despite being here by royal decree. I found a worrying sign of lack of leadership, and mentioned as much to Mr. Fogg, who was engrossed in making some complex calculations in his ledger. You may have just heard something kick on. That was a heater sitting next to me. I'm cold. As long as we are fed and flying, what does it matter whether we are greeted? He remarked before turning back to his book. I am the only one aboard who has a care for social niceties. I really couldn't care less. Fuck it. We're not greeted? Alright, whatever. I can't take care of Mr. Fogg. The fuck? The captain did not appear at breakfast and did not invite us to the captain's table for lunch or dinner. I resolved to investigate on my own, deciding that the captain's discourtesy abnegated me from the usual interdictions against prying. I peered into the navigation room where the first mate was poring over a map with a few crew members while a few crew members drank tea. I'm getting sick, which is why I have to clear my throat a lot. A light flickered in a corridor up ahead. I felt a sense of unease and turned away, only to find my path blocked by a door sliding soundlessly closed. The light flickered once more, then went out altogether. Further on, another light began to flicker. "Who's there?" I called into the darkness, the light flashing once in reply. I felt a clench of fear, but could do nothing but follow all the way to the engine room, where I found a mostly terrible sight. A woman with dark hair hung suspended amidst the pistons and gears of the engine's heart. Her body was pierced and wrapped with wires. Her fingers lay carefully placed between gear teeth. "I am Captain Mamin Irina, and you are on my ship." She turned her head and saw the glint of etched diamond shards I saw the glint of etched diamond shards at her temple. She flexed one arm, and the sound of the engines rose as they tilted, and I stumbled left. "Don't hurt me." No, no, the captain sighed with a mechanical hiss. I had to avoid a cloud bank. "But it's clear sailing now. You are in no danger." I stare in horror. Tell me, I began. Ask. "Does it hurt?" I asked, gesturing to the wires and pipes connecting her body to the airship. "It hurts greatly to begin with, yes," the captain said thoughtfully. "But I knew it would hurt. I volunteered. I wanted this too badly to care." Holy shit. Her eyes glinted white again. "Who did this to you?" I swallowed, trying not to watch the lights dancing along the wires that connected her spine to the engine. "My queen and her ally, Emperor Seswao, made me." The captain said proudly, "I volunteered to be the first. I am the first." "The first," her voice echoed like the sound of pistons. "Are there others like you?" "Maybe," she laughed, a clash of brass and steel. "Ask what you really want to ask, Pespatia. Ask me what it feels like." "Tell me." "I can feel every living body on my ship. I can feel their footfalls like little tickles, and the sun warming the timber of my hull like a warm bath. I can taste the air pressure like wine, and the steam boiler powering my body like a white hot heart. My sails touch the sky like a lover's caress. Oh, Paspatia," almost sobbed in her mechanically altered voice. "I am so powerful, so beautiful, you could never understand." "Okay, then." Wow. I can completely understand her. The way she described it. Yeah. uh, Jesus. I'm now currently listening to Walking in Memphis by Lone Star. Song no one's heard and God knows how long. But I like it. I awoke and placed my feet on the deck with especial care, feeling rather overwatched and hunted. Captain's dark mechanical laughter sounding in my ears every time I slid open a door or turned on a gaslight. The engine room haunted my thoughts. I simply had to return. Captain Mammon, there we go, must have known too, as I was welcomed with a flicker of lights and a sliding of doors. Good morning, Pespature. What do you want from me? I wanted to ask if I could help you. Take my place, you mean? She laughed. Do you want to experience what it feels like to have an airship for a body? She asked, her voice husky with temptation. I can show you if you come closer. You know what? Fuck it. I stepped closer and then closer again, until I could feel her warm, oil-scented breath on my lips. She lifted arms, wrapped and pierced through with wires to my... She lifted arms, wrapped and pierced through with wires to my face with languorous calm, and tipped my chin up and kissed me. I felt a heart beating like a pit. I felt my heart beating like a piston. I felt a heart beating like a piston. Sorry, I can't read quickly. And it was my heart which had split in 4. I was fevered and boiling over, and coiled with power. I felt my propellers like sharp fingers slicing the air, and I wanted to go faster. Faster, and suddenly I knew how. I could increase the pace of my engine heart and light myself on fire, and thrust me away, and I fell upon the floor, shivering. You understand a little now, I think, she said softly, and began righting the ship with small gestures. I felt sick with my own smallness and weakness and softness. I touched my face and was surprised to find a nose instead of a prow. I scrambled back to my cabin as Captain Mammon's laughter like gears grinding and air currents whipping, and did not stop shivering until we tethered at Rangoon. Holy shit. I mean, if it would allow us, I'd have her take us all the way around. Buddha's tooth. Thought the vendor assured me otherwise. This is most definitely not a surviving tooth of a Buddha. A can of engine oil. Valuable in Vladivostok, Singapore, and Beijing. A handy lubricant for difficult mechanisms. Leather braces. Monkey wrench. Part of the engineering set. Let's stay the night. Rangoon still bore the mark of its capture at the hands of the British in the last Anglo-Burmese War. But in the following decades, King Pagan had transformed. If my French accent will lie, he was here. But even such a course could not save me. I had taken a mere 2 steps from the veranda of our lodgings when an enormous shadow darkened the streets. There was a grinding breath and hot shriek. There was a grinding shriek and hot breath, and then I was seized in a great iron claw. I went limp. Wasn't that the correct response when faced by a raging automaton? Or perhaps I was thinking of a bear. The ground fell away in a dizzying rush. The automaton was not flying precisely, but rather leaping with a powerful bunching of hydraulics and gears. With 3 powerful jumps, the creature scaled a nearby temple and deposited me at the very top of the pagoda. I closed my eyes and clung on. I dared a look at my captor, only to find myself similarly scrutinized by a pair of jewel-faceted predator's eyes. The automaton was an enormous gilded iron lion with a heartbreakingly human porcelain face and torso. Worse still, I could speak. I am Manu. Yeah. Manu. We're going to call him Manu. It said in a grating rumble, and you are in my city. Jean Passepartout. Wow, our first name is Jean. Holy shit. You know my name? I demanded my distaste for my Christian name overriding my fear. I know every creature that comes here. I am the protector of the city. I know the whys and the hows of every creature that passes through my domain, but your purpose is a mystery. We are going around the world, I declared, but with far less than my usual gusto, aware as I was I was of the long drop which awaited me if I chose my words without care. The world is a dangerous place, Manu said, grinding its iron teeth in a horrible smile. And you Europeans only make it more so wherever you go. Do you intend to eat me? I demanded, voice shaking. You would not nourish me. I am no beast, nor am I a simple machine. Manu shook his blank human face from side to side in a clatter of rubies. I am an imperial advisor to King Pagan, and no simple collection of gears and levers. I could scarcely believe Manu's calm, philosophical discourse, but I insisted. Who made you? Manu sighed a hot gust. I was once a royal child's toy, a man-eating lion with cushioned teeth and emerald eyes. But there was some spark in my shard. There was some spark in my shard which allowed me to build, to create myself. I cannibalized the other toys in the imperial nursery. I bit and soldered and scratched myself into being. You are your own creation? I breathed in horror. Wonder? I do not rightly know. I have only just begun, Manu seemed to preen every inch for a lion wrapped around a combustion engine. Enjoy my city, Jean Passepartout, but when you leave, you will go to Pangsua Pass. But there's no route that way. There will be. It seized me in its warm paw once more and leapt to the street in one heart-stopping bound. By the time I had finished shaking, Manu was gone. His last ambiguous words echoed in my head. I wondered how much of the kingdom of Burma's recent change of fortune could be ascribed to the protector of Rangoon. I tried to forget that as quickly as possible. Monsieur Fogg would hardly believe me. After 2 minutes of walking, the whole thing seemed utterly fanciful. I'm going that way. I just want to see what other fucking routes there are. Holy shit. I went out exploring the streets of Rangoon during the hot midday sun like a fool, but could not shake the strange prickling sensation of being watched. I retreated quickly back to where Monsieur Fogg was waiting. "Passepartout," he remarked, with an assured look. "You look positively haggard." Merle Haggard? We're going this way. I really don't think I'm going to be going around the world in 80 days. But at this point, I really don't care. As night fell, I forwarded my master every service, ensuring because we're on day 30-something, and I'm still in. Holy shit. That is an airship to be remembered. The next morning, we stepped onto the streets to find a gigantic bronze and steel bird waiting for us. It bowed its head and held out a claw for our luggage. I loaded its grasp, and we stepped aboard. But Monsieur Fogg was not even slightly concerned. He leapt aboard, consulting his pocket watch, and smiled as we lifted into the sky. I mean, if you're gonna fly with a big ass bird, the fuck? The flight was, in fact, glorious. We swept over mountains, deep ravines, tiny villages, and deep jungles. It was the wildest, deepest country I had yet seen, and we soared above it as though it were a painting and we its audience. Even Monsieur Fogg was enjoying himself. The speed had brought a touch of color to his otherwise meticulously pale cheek. "Passepartout," he declared, with true passion. "However you have arranged this, I am most impressed." Thanks. It wasn't on purpose. A mighty compliment indeed. I nodded my head. My pleasure, I called back, though my familiarity rather made my master's good humor shrink. I think. We landed in Pangsua Pass under cover of darkness. The bird let us down gently, dropped our cases, and then wheeled away dramatically into the sky. "Excellent progress," Monsieur Fogg remarked, and I could not disagree. Seriously though, that bird is awesome. There were no hotels in Pangsua Pass, but they were put up for the night in a local man's thatch roof dwelling. Explore. There was a mood of grim celebration when we arrived at. A man by the name of Captain Chalmers had captured Surya, a notorious Indian revolutionary responsible for some recent disturbances in Chittagong. Would you like to come with me to interrogate the man? Captain Chalmers asked genially. I could not trust the natives to guard my back. I must see to my own gentleman, I replied. He waved away my refusal. We must know the names of his fellow conspirators. I will do my duty to find them out, even if you will not. Chalmers went towards his prison hut, and we must stop this. I cannot bear this. I could all but hear. We are not agents of the Crown Presbytery. We have no business interfering. His teeth were broken and his nails had been pulled out. He was unconscious when he swung, which was at least a mercy. It was a dark time. I'm going to leave because Pangswa. I don't know. I keep questioning it and just and never return. I wanted to raise it to the ground. And my friend, yeah, here we go. Arriving Monday. Sleep. There were no... Okay. Yay, we're taking the bird again. And after this, I'm going to end the episode, because it's probably running too long. We board a Garuda, an eagle-like flying automaton, the size of a small airship. Bound for Canton, Captain Chalmers came to wave us off, but I could not look him in the eye. We were strapped. Our luggage was suspended from the creature's claws. Trunks and suitcases all netted up like some sort of absurd prey. Then it began to beat its wings, and we rose up into the air. Great day for Britain, as notorious Indian rebel hangs. Yeah, let's go with that. Thankfully, there were sleeping breaths inside the Garuda's hull and other conveniences besides, but we all had to take turns upon the beds and sleep in shifts. I might have enjoyed it, but I could not shake the sounds of the dying man in Pangsua Pass from my ears. They stuck as though they had sunk into the very bones of my skull. Halfway through the night I heard the sounds of an alarm. Something was wrong with the ship. I dashed to a porthole to see what was occurring. The creature's great claws were swinging free. It seemed the Garuda had, without instructions from its pilot, released all the luggage from its grip. I knew the exact cause, but could not tell anyone. A pretty petty revenge for the death of a man. So we've lost all of our fucking luggage. That was fucking cruel. We have nothing. I do believe we do have nothing. I awoke to one of the crew members' grinning faces peering in at me through a porthole. I merely smiled back blankly, not perceiving that the said crew member must have suspended outside the Garuda to be so rudely looking in upon me. I rushed up on deck once. I had taken my sleep-muddled senses into hand and saw the crew hard at work, suspending an inverted canopy of pale blue silk under the Garuda. What are you all doing? I do believe I placed my hands on my hips in irritation. Our jobs, said the nearest crew member with a cracked toothed grin. Empress Sixie doesn't like airships that and the like. The Chinese are likely to try to shoot us down if they spot us. Sky-colored camouflage, Monsieur Fogg remarked, coming up on deck beside me. An ingenious solution. I'm not reading this all. There we go. So if we get to Canton and all of our luggage is gone, I'm going to be pissed. That's Monsieur Fogg. Because what the fuck else am I going to do? Oh, no, we have nothing. Holy fuck. Didn't think that was actually a thing. We need to go to a bank. Let's stay at the hotel. Canton's 13 factories had once been the only Chinese port which traded with foreigners. The city had grown opium-rich and impossibly lush until the Second Opium War and the subsequent opening up of other treaty ports to foreign trade. Canton was a rotting corpse, still shambling, too foolish to realize the killing blow had already fallen. Let's go exploring, see where the fuck we can go. Hong Kong. Seriously, the only fucking place we can go is Hong Kong. Well. Oh, that leaves now for $100. We don't have any cases. What the fuck? You know what? Let's go to Hong Kong. Because it's $100. And there's probably dusty roads. Wow, didn't I have the dusty road set? Oh god, what the fuck? So basically I should have just gone along with whatever the fuck this crazy shithead wanted, and I'd have my luggage. Even though it was only 80 miles from Canton to Hong Kong, the passage, we were told, would still take all day. We boarded a wobbly steam bicycle driven by a boy of tiny, weary proportions who cheered and yelled as he kicked the bicycle into its highest gear. Take care, Monsieur Fogg. Jesus, 85. The bicycle ride was fast and rough. What a tedious day of travel. Bouncing around on an uncomfortable saddle, listening to our driver's endless chatter as the scenery rolled blankly past. We arrived a few hours later into the port of Hong Kong, and the boy stuck his hand out for a tip. I gave him 20 pounds and sent him on his way, and he nodded with thanks. Then he waggled his finger and offered a single phrase of advice. No opium. He says, no, no, no. I suppose he was repeating his parents' words. Yeah, funds have gone down a little, but... Air sickness pills. Of interest to suspicious, prim, and excitable types. Jade figure in San Pedro. So I can't just buy a suitcase. Shit. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave this episode off here. We'll explore in the next episode. This has been running way too long. Yeah, it's been running way too long. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like, if you like this, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Jesus, I can't even remember my own outro. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great, wonderful day. Bye-bye.